This audio will include the stomach, small intestines, and large intestines. The stomach. The stomach is described as being a J-shaped organ. It lies inferior to the diaphragm in the epigastric, left hypochondriac, and umbilical regions of the body on the left side of the body. It connects the esophagus to the duodenum, which is the first part of the small intestines. It has the capability of stretching, but it really is not meant to hold large quantities of food. It serves as a reservoir for food. The stomach is divided into four parts. The cardia, or cardiac region, is the area that surrounds the cardiac sphincter, also known as the lower esophageal sphincter. The fundus, that's the rounded portion that is located above or superior to the left of the cardia. Body or corpus is the large central portion of the stomach, inferior to the fundus. Pylorus, or the antrum, is the narrow inferior portion of the stomach that connects the duodenum by the pyloric sphincter or valve. This valve or sphincter will prevent the backflow of partially digestive foodstuff and digestive juices from the duodenum to the stomach. The stomach has two sides, a right and a left side. The left side is the convex lateral border. It is referred to as the greater curvature of the stomach, and it is supplied by the left gastric artery. The right side is the concave medial border. It is referred to as the lesser curvature of the stomach and is supplied by the right gastric artery. The stomach has four layers or coats. The serosa, the outermost or superficial layer of the stomach, a portion of the serosa covering is part of the visceral peritoneum. The muscularis or muscular coat, this is located under the serosa and is composed of visceral or smooth involuntary muscle tissue. The submucosa, this layer is under the muscularis, and this is where blood vessels and nerves are found. It binds the mucosa to the muscularis. The mucosa is the innermost layer of the stomach, and that secretes mucus to protect the stomach from its own digestive juices. When there is no food in the stomach, the mucosa lies in large muscular folds called rugae. This allows for the expansion and contraction when the stomach contains food. As the stomach fills, the rugae smooth out and disappear. The mucosa of the stomach will also contain many pits or gastric glands. There are three types of secreting cells in the mucosa. The chief cells, or zymogenic cells, this will secrete the principal enzyme pepsinogen. The parietal cells will secrete two substances, the first being hydrochloric acid. This activates the conversion of pepsinogen to pepsin, which is the active enzyme necessary to break down proteins. And the second substance is referred to as the intrinsic factor. This is necessary for the body's absorption of vitamin B12, a vitamin that is necessary for hemopoiesis. Mucus cells secrete mucus and protect the stomach from its own digestive juices. Gastric juice is the combination of all of the above secretions. The main chemical activity of the stomach is to begin digestion of proteins by the enzyme pepsin. Okay, so now we have food in the stomach. Now what? The stomach gently mixes the food about every 15 to 25 seconds. This mixing macerates the food and mixes it with gastric juices. This reduces food to a milky white semi-liquid substance called chyme or chyle. This substance, the chyme or chyle, is now suitable for further digestion in the small intestines. The small intestines. The small intestines is a gastrointestinal organ that originates at the pyloric sphincter of the stomach and terminates at the ileocecal valve of the large intestines. It is approximately 23 feet in length and about 1 inch in diameter. It is located in the central and lower portion of the abdominal cavity. A major portion of digestion and absorption occurs here. It receives pancreatic juice and bile from ducts which lead from the pancreas, liver, and the gallbladder into the duodenum. The small intestines is divided into 3 portions. The duodenum, or duodenum. This is approximately 10 to 12 inches in length. It is the shortest part of the small intestines, and it's known as the beginning of the small intestines. The jejunum. This is approximately 8 feet. It is the second portion of the small intestine and will extend to the third part called the ileum. The ileum is approximately 14 feet. This is the third and longest portion. It joins the large intestines at the ileocecal valve, which is the opening into the large intestines. This allows material from the small intestines to pass into the large intestines. Brunner's glands, also known as duodenal glands, are composed of tubular submucosal glands and are located in the duodenum. The main function is to produce a mucus-rich alkaline secretion, which contains bicarbonate, in order to protect the duodenum from the acidic content of chyme, which is introduced into the duodenum from the stomach. It provides an alkaline condition for the intestinal enzymes to be active, thus enabling the absorption to take place, and it lubricates the intestinal walls. Do you remember the lymphatic system from Anatomy 1? Well, the small intestines contain villi. The finger-like projections located along the mucosal lining of the small intestines, they increase the absorption area for nutrients of the small intestines. These villi contain lacteals, small ducts that convey chyme or chyle from the villi of the small intestines to the thoracic duct, so these nutrients can then enter the circulatory system to be then transported to the trillions of cells in the body. The small intestines also contain an aggregation or group of lymph nodes called Peyer's patches. These are located along the entire length of the small intestines, and the greatest number being found in the ileum. The large intestines. The large intestines is approximately 5 feet in length and about 2.5 inches in diameter. It extends from the ileum to the anus and is wider, not longer, than the small intestines. The overall functions include the completion of water absorption, the manufacturing and absorption of certain vitamins, and the formation and elimination of feces. There are 4 major regions of the large intestines: the cecum, colon, rectum, and anal canal. The cecum. This is the beginning of the large intestine and is located on the right side of the body. The vermiform appendix, what we know as our appendix, projects from here. The colon is the largest part. This is further subdivided into 4 parts. The ascending colon. This ascends or goes up on the right side of the abdomen. When it reaches the inferior or undersurface of the liver, it turns to the left to form the right colic hepatic flexure. This sounds complicated, but it's not. Right because it's on the right side of the abdomen, colic for colon, hepatic for liver, and flexure because it bends. The transverse colon. This will go across the abdomen, and when this reaches the inferior end of the spleen on the left side, it turns and forms the left colic splenic flexure. Again, let's break it down so it makes sense. Left because it's located on the left side of the abdomen, colic for colon, splenic for spleen, and flexure because it bends. The descending colon. This goes down or descends on the left side of the abdomen to the iliac crest. The sigmoid colon is the S-shaped portion. This begins near the iliac crest and projects medially, and this terminates as the rectum. The rectum is the last 8 inches of the gastrointestinal tract. It lies anterior to the sacrum and the coccyx. The anal canal is the terminal or last 1 inch. The opening of the anal canal to the exterior of the body is called the anus. The anus guards the internal anal sphincter, which is made up of involuntary smooth muscle, and an external anal sphincter, which is composed of skeletal muscle, which is voluntary.